What's going on, guys? So today I'm going to walk you through step by step how you can start your Amazon FBA business, because it can be confusing. There's a lot of little things to consider, and I'm just going to walk you through the steps you need to do in the order you need to do them. Now, this won't be super detailed, but this will give you a great idea of where to start, what you need to do, and certain things you could miss. Again, this isn't everything you need to know. It's a lot of it, but it's not, you need to know more detail on these as well. So do more research. If you're interested, I do have a course on this, but let's jump right into this. So the very first thing you need to do is create your business. Now, get the question, do you have to have an LLC or a legal business to sell on Amazon? And the answer is no. You don't have to. I obviously recommend it. I have an LLC. I have multiple for different things. It's easy to get, depends on where you live. If you're in the US, I recommend it. If you're not in the US, again, you don't have to have one. The only thing you need is a tax number. Now, it can be whatever. If you're in the UK, you can do it. And to answer some of the simple questions up front real quick, you can sell pretty much from anywhere. There's a couple countries you can't, South Africa being one of them. I think that's the biggest one. You need about $1,000 to start selling on Amazon for your first order, and you can sell on any marketplace you want from anywhere in the world, as long as you have the EIN number. So how do we get an EIN number? Let me show you guys real quick. It's pretty simple. All we have to do is literally just type in get an EIN. Now this will be for the US again. Different strategy, different technique to do it if you're somewhere else, UK, Canada, etc. All we do, click apply online now. You fill out the little information it makes you, social security, name, and a couple other things, and they'll send you your EIN number within 24 hours if you do it on a weekday. If you do it on the weekend, it'll take till Monday. So it's pretty quick, very easy to get, and that's all you need to really start your business. It's just so they can track how much you make for tax purposes. Now, if you do want to start a business, I recommend LegalZoom. There are ways to do it free. It's a lot of paperwork and other things. If it's your first time doing it, I recommend doing LegalZoom. If you're tight on a budget, you can probably do it for about $80 to $90 yourself. Through LegalZoom, for example, in California, it's probably about $300 to $500. So that's it for starting your business. Now, you will need a name and a logo for your business. You can make that on Fiverr if you want. Completely up to you. Super simple. Now, the next thing we're going to do is create our Amazon account. So I'm not going to sign into mine right here to show you guys. It's super simple. It's just all your personal information, which is why I'm not showing it. And there's a couple settings in there that you don't want to miss. The next step is going to be step 3, product research. Now, this is by far the most important aspect and going to be the majority of this video. Now, with product research, I always recommend using Jungle Scout, because otherwise you're guesstimating how much something sells. So if it's your first time, you don't know what Jungle Scout is, it's a little app. So if I search something up right here, bananas, and not spell them correctly because I don't know how to spell, and I click this little Chrome extension over here. Now, I'll leave a link to this in the description, but it is paid. It'll tell you how many sales a month this person's getting. It'll tell you their price, how many reviews they have. And I recommend going off this to find products. Again, I'm not going to go super in depth on this, but the parameters I personally use for Jungle Scout is I want the majority of the first page to have over 300 sales. I want the majority of them to be under 75 reviews. I want the price to be between $15 and $50 on average. And I don't want to see a lot of the same brand. So if I see Dole sells 4 of the top 10 listings, then they might be a big name in there, and that's not someone I really want to compete with. If they have all that, they might dominate that market. So that's kind of a brief overview of the parameters I use. Next, let's say we find a product. Now, let's use banana again, but we'll spell it correctly. So we found our product right here. So we're right here, guys. We want to make sure it's not seasonal. Now, how do we do that? So I go over to a website called Camel. Literally just Camel 3 times. And you can search any sales history and price history of any product on Amazon. So let's just say I want to do this product right here. So I can see their price. So they originally came in at $185, and now it's listed at $100. So that might affect sales. But if I just click on the sales rank right here, it will show me the whole chart of how much they were selling. Now, this number right here is the bestseller rank. So the lower the number, the more sales they're getting. Now, there is a conversion based off category and other things, but we're not going to go into that. We just want to make sure that they're not getting tons of sales in February to July, and then they get no sales the rest of the time. So we can see they sold a lot at the start, and then they started to slow down here, and now it's still a little bit slower. However, not bad. So we don't see a spike. A seasonal chart would look like, okay, up here, it drops down here, it stays here for a little, and then it starts to sell well again here. All right, so after we checked if it's seasonal or not, we need to check if it's patented. If it's patented, we can't sell it. If it's trademarked, we can't sell it. So when I say trademarked, you can't sell things using words such as like Nerf or Disney, or I want to sell a Shrek hat. I can't do that. That's a trademarked logo, a trademarked name. So any big thing like that, that's not our goal here. We're trying to find a generic product where we can put our logo on it. So all we do, go over to Google Patents. Now, this is a gray area. Look up the patent laws if you want. I can't advise you on whether something's patented or not. If I find anything that's close to it, I will not do it. So you just search whatever the product is here. It'll pull up all the results and tell you, okay, there's a patent for this, that match these words. Or you can hire someone to search it for you that's a professional. Now next, after we check if it's patented or trademarked, we need to make sure it's not a restricted product or in a gated category. So on Amazon, there's certain products you're not allowed to sell. And some of them are weird. An example would be magnetic balls. Little magnetic balls you can't sell for some reason on Amazon. You can't sell a glass pipe because it could be associated with tobacco or weed. And you can see there's some categories. They just put fidget spinners a couple months ago. And these also do with the gated categories. So I just Googled restricted products on Amazon. It's the first link on this. You can Google gated categories. Some of the gated categories on Amazon include automotive, health and personal care, some sections of it, beauty, a couple things like that. So make sure you're searching that, and also sexual products as well. So you do need to be ungated. That's a whole nother process. And after we do all that, we're going to track the product. So Jungle Scout has a feature, which is this little app, if you guys want to Google Jungle Scout, where you can track the top 10 products. So let's say I'm back on Amazon again, and we're going to look for watches. Watches and jewelry are gated, by the way. And let's say we want to track the top 10 products and see how many sales they're getting, because this is an estimation of 30 days, the Jungle Scout Chrome extension. So these sales are over the last 30 days. However, what if they sold 90% of their sales the first day or two, and now they're selling slow because they did a giveaway or something? So we want to track the product for about a week or two and make sure these sales are still consistent. So with Jungle Scout, you take the top 10 products, you just put the ASIN in, which is just their identifying number for Amazon, and you just track the product for a week or two, make sure the sales are consistent. And again, that's on Jungle Scout. If you just go over here, you can see the tool. They have a couple different ones. All right, guys, trying to go a little quick here. So step 4 is find a supplier. So we know what product we want to sell. Let's say we want to sell, let's go with camping hammocks, the old school example. So we want to sell camping hammocks. Don't sell them. So I just searched camping hammocks. Now I'm on a site called Alibaba. It's the biggest site by far. You can find suppliers from mainly China, pretty much anywhere. Now, what I look for on Alibaba when looking at suppliers is that they're at least a gold supplier. So this little badge means gold supplier, and you can see how long they've been, 1 year, 12 years. I want to make sure they have trade assurance, which means if I buy something from them through Alibaba and pay through Alibaba, that I'm protected. If they scam me, I get my money back. You can see their transactions and just kind of all their status right here. I just make sure they're a gold supplier and they have trade assurance. That's all I really look for. Now, what I'll do here is I'll look for something. There's a lot of different types. So let's say this is the type of hammock we want. You can see the price, and now the price usually doesn't mean anything. Usually it's a low ball. Sometimes it's a little bit more expensive. This is a pretty expensive product by itself, and usually it doesn't include shipping. So it can vary a ton. So you'll see their minimum order is 100 pieces. For a lot of these, some are 500. So you can only order from them if you're ordering 500 or more. And one of the questions I get is, will they talk to individuals? Do you have to pretend to be a business? They don't care if you're an individual. They'll still sell you stuff. So it doesn't matter. You can act like a business if you want. So what I do when I contact them is I say, hello, my name's blah, blah, blah. I own an e-commerce company that sells on Amazon, in the US and I'm looking to add a camping hammock to my line. Can you please give me a quote for 300 units shipped to, and then I'll give them my address as a reference point until we get the Amazon address, which I'll show you in a little bit. And what the estimated cost would be to put my logo on the product and have it shipped here. We're shipping straight to Amazon, by the way, but just as a reference point. So I just email them that and ask them what the estimated shipping time would be and the estimated production time would be. Normal is usually a week to 2 for both, again, depending on shipping, which we'll go over in a little bit. Now, you can get a sample starting out if you want. It's about, depends on the product, but $90 to $100 for 1 unit for them to ship it to you because shipping's expensive if you want to test out the quality and whatnot. But if they're a good supplier where it's 12 years gold, they have tons of transactions, a higher rating and whatnot, you're probably fine, but it's completely up to you. Now, one thing to watch out for is a lot of them want you to wire transfer to them. Now, it's not because they're scamming you, but they don't pay fees that way. But to be safe, I always use PayPal because PayPal is kind of the same thing as trade assurance. If they scam you, you can make a dispute and get your money back. So if they don't accept PayPal or let you pay through Alibaba Trade Assurance, which is just through Alibaba, then I don't work with them. And we want to make sure we can put our logo on our product. So that's all for step 4. Step 5, we need to make sure it's a profitable product. So if you type in FBA calculator, we can put all our costs into here. So let's say we're doing a camping hammock. Now there will be fulfillment fees by Amazon for different products based off of size and weight because they need to store it. So all we do is fill out the Amazon fulfillment side of a product that's very similar in weight and size to us. So it's pretty much the same thing. They probably have a similar supplier right here. So I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna sell this for $29.99. And the cost for me to ship to Amazon is 0 because that's calculated my product cost. And it cost me $6.50 a unit to buy. So if we sell for $29.99 on Amazon, we are going to pay $4.50 in Amazon fees, which is just 15% of the sale price, which is normal. Some categories are 12%, most are 15%. And we have fulfillment fees. Now this is based off the size and weight of the product, which is the fulfillment fee and then a monthly storage fee. So per unit, if we sell at $29.99, we are profiting $14, which is great. We want anything 30% and above. Right here, we're at about 50% almost. So normal is usually 30 to 50%. We want to save some room for pay-per-click also, which is advertising, which we'll get to. And that's pretty much it. You want to make sure it's profitable. Now, if I'm highballing the price, I'll say, okay, well, there's other people selling at $22.99. What would my profit be at that? Okay, I'm still at $9, which is pretty good profit still. It's about 40%. I'll take it. So this might be a good prop to go after. It's not, don't do it. But that is how I calculate profit. Now, the next thing after this is we need to create our listing. Now, this can be pretty time consuming. This is going to be a video on its own, but we need to put our title, our bullet points, our description. Now, for all of those, the title, you want to get a lot of keywords in there. Amazon's all based around keywords. So you want to put your most used term. So if I'm selling that hammock I showed you, the first thing I want in my title is camping hammock, whatever the main keyword is I'm trying to rank for. And then other small filler words in the title, such as lightweight, durable, backpacking, perfect for traveling, things like that, and try and load my title up where it makes sense but has a lot of keywords. And same thing with the bullet points and description, but with those you kind of want to hit on the emotional selling points based off of kind of the benefits and feature of the product. So relax in this hammock does blah, blah, blah. Again, this could be a whole video in itself. I'm trying to go quick here. The next is images. I get asked all the time, how do you do images? I send my product to a photographer. It's about $75 to $100 for 6 pictures, high quality. I get one with just a white background. I get a couple of it in use and just maybe some of the features if it has some. And it's pretty much that simple. You can take them yourself. You can ask your supplier for pictures, completely up to you. Now next, keywords. You can get 250 characters in the back end on your keywords on Amazon. Your title counts as a keyword field. So if I put camping hammock, I do not need to repeat that in the keywords if it's already in my title. It still counts. So don't repeat Any keywords, don't put commas, separate words by spaces. You get 250 characters, use them wisely. Now, the next part is the part that a lot of newbies get confused with, and that is barcodes. Barcodes on Amazon can be very confusing. What you need to do is buy a barcode that is GS1. You can buy it from them directly, GS1, or you can go through a site like Barcode Mania that buys from them in bulk and then sells to you. It's $5 for a barcode. You only need one per product. If it has variations, it's one per variation. So when you get that barcode, you put it in your listing. It'll say, there'll be a little spot, you'll see it. You put the number in your listing. After that, you save your listing, you're done. You don't need that barcode ever again. It's done, stow it away, save it, you won't use it again. That is all you need for that barcode. There's a difference between barcode and item labels on Amazon, which I'll show you. Next, we want to change our listing to fulfilled by Amazon. So right after we create a listing, it'll be fulfilled by merchant, which is fulfilled by you, which, don't worry, as soon as you create a listing, it's not active. If it's fulfilled by you, you have zero inventory. Same with Amazon, you can create it way ahead of time. So we change it to fulfilled by Amazon, and then a little button will pop up and we have to click print item labels. Now this looks like a barcode too, but this is Amazon's barcode and the one we need on our items. So each unit's outer packaging, so not like a box, but it's outer packaging. So it could be a box actually. So the outer packaging, we put this item label on. It's the same for every single unit, the same label. There's one label, you print it 500 times if you have 500 units, stick it on the outside of your unit, and Amazon scans it, and that's how they keep track of what products are yours and what listing it corresponds to. So after all the listing, we need to choose our shipping with our supplier. So are we doing air shipping? Are we doing sea shipping? And you guys have probably seen some of the terms. What do they mean? So what you're really going to want to do is, let me show you some of the terms. As an example, they had a good chart here. Now this can be kind of overwhelming, so I'm going to break it down very easily. Sea shipping takes a while. It's cheaper. It can take a month to 3 months. You have to deal with customs and a couple other things most of the time. I avoid it normally unless you're in a more advanced seller doing larger quantities ahead of time. Air shipping, it's a little bit more expensive. It's fast. You can get it in 3 to 7 days normally with shipping. Most of the time you won't have to deal with anything like duties or customs, which if you're a beginner, you shouldn't have to deal with that anyway. So make sure you choose the right shipping. Mine, I always do, is DDP, which is duties paid pretty much. So with customs and duties, your supplier, you want them to pay it. You don't want to have to handle it. It's a headache. It's annoying. It's just more work for you. So ask them for duties paid. The type of shipping I always ask for, which I have right over here, is I want air shipping door to door. So I don't have to go touch the product. A lot of times your supplier will want to drop it off at an airport and have you pick it up, which you don't want to do. You want it from their doorstep to Amazon's. And you want all duties paid, so you don't have to stop in between and pay stuff here or fill out paperwork here. And you want your package to have under a $2,000 declared value, which most likely your supplier already knows to do that, but just make sure to tell them if you're doing bigger orders. Because if you have anything over $2,000 and say, oh, I'm shipping $10,000 worth of stuff, you have to pay customs on that and there's a fee there. Now next is step 8. So next we create our shipping plan. Now this, again, could be a whole separate video. All we do is get this information from your supplier. The number of boxes, how many units are in each box, how much each box weighs, and the dimensions of each box. And you put that in on Amazon when you're creating your shipping plan. And then don't change the shipping carrier. You'll see DHL, FedEx, UPS. You don't need to change that. That does not matter. And then we need to print our item labels and send that to our supplier, since they're going to be putting those little Amazon barcodes, the item labels, on each unit, which they might charge you for. Normal fee is usually 5 to 15 cents. And then we need to print box labels. So you'll click print, it'll pull it up as a PDF, and that's what goes on the outside of each box. So if you have 10 boxes with 30 units each, you should have 10 box labels. You send those to your supplier, it's just a PDF, and they print those, put those on each box, and that's how Amazon tracks those boxes. At the end, of your shipping plan, Amazon will give you a little address on the top left of your screen. You copy and paste that, send it to your supplier. That's the address they're shipping to. You click mark as shipped on the top of your shipping plan right next to that address, and you're done. Now, don't worry if you mess this up. You can go back, you can delete it whenever, you can revise it, you can start completely over. It's not a big deal if you screw up and say you're sending 10,000 units and you're not. Now, step 9, your product arrived at Amazon, Amazon's holding it, it's active now. Now, how do we get it ranked? What do we need to do? So we need to get some reviews. So you can get your friends to buy and review your product. They don't even have to buy it. They can leave a review by itself. There's a couple different strategies. Again, so in depth, these would be other videos. This is general. So ask friends for a review. They don't have to buy it. Get 5, 25 reviews. It'll depend on the competition of the product. And start getting some sales. You can do this by running ads. You can do this by doing giveaways of products. But Amazon's algorithm is all based off of sales volume. So if you're selling 1 a day and I'm selling 10, I'm going to be ranked higher than you because I sell more. So we need to start getting some momentum and getting some sales. So we can start advertising, which brings me to step 10. Advertising on Amazon, you pretty much choose a keyword, say I want to bid this much per click when someone clicks it. If you see a little sponsored at the top of Amazon, that's what that is. Those people are paying to be there. Now, if I'm bidding $1 and you're bidding $1.50, you'll show up in the #1 spot on the top, and I might be on the bottom of page 1 or 2 because I'm not bidding high enough. And each time someone clicks that, you'll get charged whatever the bid is. Normal is usually 50 cents to $1. It will vary on the competition of the product. So how do you find keywords to do this with? There's a lot of different search tools like merchant words where you can search up different keywords and see other related ones in their volume of searches, and you can put all those in your PPC campaign. It's super easy to create. But what I recommend doing is just starting an automatic campaign on Amazon. So they choose all the keywords that they think are relevant based off your listing, your keywords, etc. And you put the default bid. All right, I want to bid 50 cents per click. And I'd let that run for a week or two, spending about $10 to $20 a day, completely up to you. And then they'll show you information. They'll say, okay, well, the keyword hammock got 20 clicks and you got 0 purchases from it. But lightweight camping hammock got 5 clicks and you got 3 purchases from it. So you can pull that information, see what keywords are doing well, what are doing bad, and you can create a second advertising campaign in Amazon called a manual campaign where you get to choose the exact keywords instead of Amazon. And on that one, you only put in the ones that are making you money. So if I'm making $10 per unit, anything I'm spending less than $10 on to get 1 sale, I'll keep. So you can see that based off the percentage on the side. You can see the clicks, the impressions and whatnot. And I just delete the ones that aren't making me money and scale up the ones that are. It's pretty simple. Now, a couple things to do after you've done all this. Those are the 10 steps. Try to make it quick for you guys, but never stop optimizing your listing. Start tweaking images, titles, bullet points, see what works better, just testing them. Same with your advertising. Make sure you never run out of inventory. If you run out of inventory, you stop getting sales, obviously. Your sales rank starts to drop. Your listing isn't ranked as high. You're getting less and less sales because of that. So running out of inventory is probably the worst thing you can do on Amazon. Next, answer customer messages. If you get any, you might get 1 a week. Try and answer them quick. It does show on your seller rating. And then track your profits in Excel. When it comes tax time, it is income tax. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Hope it wasn't too long. Again, I tried to make this general. I can go more in depth with all of them. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and if you're interested in learning more details and how to do this extensively, more on product research and everything, I do have a course on this. It will be the first link in the description. With it, you get 2 months of access to me as well. So it's a video series. You get access to all the videos for a lifetime. You can go at your pace, watch them as many times as you want. And then you get 2 months of access to me if you have any questions, if you want me to look over products or anything. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the next video.